Okay, so today we're gonna attempt to make some fruit leather from the leftover pulp from me juicing. I juiced a bunch of different, fruits today, and so you have pulp left over, and you spread it out on some parchment paper, put it in the oven or your dehydrator. And I also had some raspberry, blueberries, and blackberries specifically for this purpose, and that's my dehydrator I'm gonna be using. So what you want to do is, I've seen multiple ways that this can be done, from my YouTube and Google research. Some people go ahead and boil their fruit. So like that raspberry, blackberry, blueberry concoction I had, they would like get the boiling that on the stove and let it condense down and then put it on that parchment paper. But a lot of other videos just showed somebody blending their fruit down. And so when I did some Google research to understand the difference as to which method is better, they were saying that doing it on the stove is really just to help get more water out of it quicker so that it can have a faster drying time in the dehydrator. So if you're not trying to wait a full 12 hours, then I guess doing it that way might suffice, because you might only need 6 to 8 hours as opposed to 12. But yeah, I decided to just go the blender method. Once it was done blending good, I just went ahead and poured it directly onto my parchment paper. And you want to be careful not to make sure it doesn't, go over the edges and all of that. But you can see the dehydrator pan underneath. Trying to find the words. The mesh pan underneath, you can see it through the parchment paper. So that way you're not going too far over the edge. And then you just spread that thing out. Now, again, I did add like some lemon juice and agave. It's really up to you what you want to add or don't want to add. I also added some chia seeds, which was kind of unnecessary because the raspberry and blackberry already kind of gonna have that crunch to it. But I'm a chia seed girl, and I saw a recipe where they added chia seed to this particular recipe, so I wanted to try it out. This is what the parchment paper looked like over the dehydrator sheets. And this was the pineapple, apple, papaya, honeydew concoction. This is basically what was in my juicer after I juiced. So the pulp, mostly pineapple, but a little bit of the apple skins, a little bit of honeydew remnants, and a little bit of papaya. Not even much of nothing, mostly pineapple. But I put it in a blender, and it still was coming out super chunky. So we're just gonna see how this particular fruit leather turn out. Cause baby, I don't even know. But if it dry out and it still got some flavor to it, it's gonna get ate. Because I was just trying to find another way to not have to waste these. Another thing you could do, instead of me doing all this, I could have dehydrated it as is without doing all this spreading it out and stuff. I could have just like, spread it out a little bit without the intent to make fruit leather. And once it was dry, I could put it in my coffee grinder or blender or food processor and make a powder. So this would have been a good, like, think if you've ever had Tabitha Brown sunshine seasoning, something that adds like a little sweetness to whatever that you can add on salads or certain dressings and things like that. So keep that in mind if you ever want to try that. And it's just a up close of what that raspberry, blackberry, blueberry concoction look like before it go into the dehydrator. So we're gonna come back and see how it actually turned out. I'm putting that thing in for 12 hours on 150, and we'll report back on how it comes out. Okay, so what do we have here? Oh, let's check it out. Now, I already did a sneak test. I'm gonna give y'all my review, but wow. Let me sit the phone down. Look at how it rips. So in the videos I watch, they would like cut the parchment paper with this and then, roll it up like a fruit roll up and store it in an airtight container. This one came out too sweet for me. Just the raspberry, blackberry, blueberry. Next time I might do as many raspberries. And I added chia seeds too, which I can't tell the difference because of the raspberry seeds. But it's very sweet. I also added agave. So next time I probably won't add agave. And then we got the pineapple honeydew apple. Let's see what that's hitting on. That's that. Okay. Way more subtle in taste, not so sweet. I'm leaning out on it. And also, this had a, this was thicker. I had like a lot of pineapple. So it was like, I know how this is gonna turn out. That thing dehydrated. Wow. Okay, for leather. So this is how you can use, baby, especially if you ain't growing your own. We spending all this money at these stores. What I did with that one pineapple, I chopped it up and used it to juice. I used the skins, boiled them with some, I boiled the skins with some clove and cinnamon. Made me a pineapple clove cinnamon tea. Added some agave to that. I done used the pulp to make some fruit leather. I done ran that pineapple to the ground. Man, use my $3 off that one pineapple. And if I'd have saved the top and planted it in the ground on some dirt, in about 5-6 years, I could have me a whole nother pineapple plant. That $3 went far. Y'all give it a try.